Hello and welcome back to Dial H for Heroclix. I'm your sexy ranch and co-host Kalder. This episode we got a special guest. We're talking about a rules article. We're talking about Doom, probably some more Doom, some MF Doom, some Doom, all caps Doom, some Valeria Von Doom, some Doom, just classic Dr. Doom, some DJ Doom, all kinds of Doom. It's just Doom and gloom on this episode. We're talking about a little bit about the Heroclix economy. Play some Bad Samaritan like always. This is episode 351. Howdy, let's get rowdy. Dial H for Heroclix is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock every day, including all the latest Heroclix singles and sealed products. Make sure you check them out at CoolStuffInc.com. Joining me, like always, in the studio is your Heroclix heavyweight champion, the Villians Bruce. What's going on, Simeon?
Ooh, Kalder, I was talking to our good friend Chad Birdsall, and he was telling me about this sweet new game he's been playing. It's called Gwent. It's a card game. He was telling me how he's a Northern Realms kind of guy. And I was telling him the Skellige deck is where
You've already used Gwent before. Not going to let you do that again. You've already used Gwent. You're going to have to be more original if you want to get some freaking Witcher stuff past me. I'm not having it. I will not sit here and take that. And also, special guest, Ian, what's going on, man?
Oh, not too much. Always a pleasure to be on the show. Looking forward to talking about the old doom and gloom.
That's right. Well,
we'll see
before
how
we get
fits Witcher into that. So,
oh yikes! Ugh, it's gonna be a headache already. Before we do that, let's get into what made us happy this week. Ian, your special guest. Why don't you go ahead and get started?
All right. Well, obviously the Fantastic Four set dropped this week. I was pretty excited about that. Dr. Doom. Well, also, I don't know, a bit sad as well because I know I have to get these chases. Dr. Doom's one of the favorites, as I'm sure it is for a lot of people. So that set dropping was pretty exciting. Went to my local game store, picked up a brick, and then I did manage to order a couple of the chases on eBay as well. So yeah, that was awesome. And didn't have to work this weekend, so I can never complain about that. Yeah, just overall solid week. Got to play some Heroclix as well. My buddy Luke was in town, so we got to play a lot of the new set. I got to see how some of it works, and wow, there are a lot of good figures, to say the least, in this set.
Oh, absolutely.
Simeon,
there's a ton of good figures.
Go ahead.
So what made me happy this week is we don't normally get to do in-person gaming, but we've been trying to every set release and every so often. So a couple of the old game guys from different venues and stuff met up at none of our normal venues, but it's a like a coffee house / bar pub / gaming place called Spielbound, and you can rent games there. You can bring your own games. You can do all kinds of stuff there, and it's a pretty cool place. But we had a pretty fun game there. Devin of Happy Little Heroclix reenacted the slaughter of the younglings as he played Lord Doom, and I played just a ton of sidekicks.
Oh my god!
And so, we have a couple pictures of that, but it was a pretty fun time. Took it pretty casual. We weren't going anything too extreme. But yeah, I equipped. Who was it? I can't remember the Moloid girl's name. The one with the little dress, like Meek or Turg or Core.
It's like M.I.K. Mick, I think.
I think that's the one with the kick thing. So here's a fun thing.
Oh, God.
Bentley 23, who has the kick effect, has 0 power other than leadership and mastermind. Meek, who is just standing there, has a special exploit, but the flavor text on exploit is called Shin Kick. And so I was like, all right, Devin, here's 2 figures.
Wow.
Which of these figures has the power called Shin Kick? And clearly there's one performing a Shin Kick, and then there's one just standing there. And, of course, it was the one that's just standing there. But, yeah, I equipped her with the Silver Surfer's surfboard, so there was some hypersonic force blast going on. except it ultimately killed her because pushing damage is still real to me.
Well, it's still real to everybody, actually, Simeon.
Yeah, that's what I said. Still real to me.
No, you said to you.
Yeah. Everybody.
Right. That's like as if it's like, yeah.
I am everybody,
No.
aren't I? Are you not all
Anybody.
part of my imagination? This is all just the fever dream that I'm having?
I thought I was.
This actually is all your imagination, and then you just play a little effect, and then like the podcast is an hour.
I have my
2
own
hours dead air
podcast.
after this point.
It's incredible.
But all right. What made me happy this week? We did sort of a graduation party. Not really. It was some weird ceremony that wasn't quite graduation, but it's almost grad. Either way, I got to eat pizza and cake, and just hang out and watch some Nebraska volleyball because we were in Norfolk, or Norfolk, whoever the locals call it, I guess.
They crushed
And
it.
so we were just watching some Nebraska volleyball, watch them get there. Yeah, except they definitely got destroyed by Minnesota. So the girls were not feeling it tonight, but it was a good time. It was a good party. It was fun hanging out with everybody.
They were like
That cake was $90, and I'll be honest with you, it really
It was $90 a slice?
champ. It was $90 just for the whole cake, but it was a dang good cake, man. Oh, it was awesome. I was like, that might be a $90 worth cake. It's probably just like boxed cake. They put 2 layers on and frosting or something, and I just can't tell the difference. But man, was it good! It was delicious.
It's amazing how a price tag can shift that a bit.
Yeah,
Yeah, the perception of how good something is. Like, it's
right.
definitely
Yeah.
not a $7 taco. It's like a $2 taco. Can you remember if the
I had some
frosting
good
was-
fish tacos this week too. They were $12, but they were pretty good.
Oh, jeez.
But yeah,
Well, there you go.
frosting was just like whatever, normal
Was it-
frosting.
oh, it wasn't-
tasted great.
Cream cheese frosting's where it's at.
No, it wasn't cream cheese. I don't think so. Not that I know what that would be, because I don't know how to cook any bakery related anything. So
Ooh, a nice
sure.
carrot
With you
cake
there.
with a thick cream cheese
Yeah.
frosting. Ooh.
I do like carrot cake.
Simeon's specialty.
But all right,
You haven't played.
Well, Simeon was about-
Heroclix until he's baked you his signature carrot cake.
if we go over to your house, is it just carrot cake and pudding? Is that what you've been eating all just period, Simeon?
Yes,
All
yes. I
carrot
actually
cake and
got.
pudding?
So we actually had a listener contacted me to figure out more details about said pudding. And in my research, turns out the actual name is budino because it's an Italian dish. So it's called budino. If anyone wants this earth-shatteringly good butterscotch pudding dessert, it's actually called budino. And find like some sort of tiny Italian shop with like a nice old lady that's like, yes, I make you budino. And then she makes you a budino and you pay her like $12 probably.
Probably.
But, you can live off that stuff. I know I have.
No, you shouldn't. Nope, definitely not the nutrients you need every day. Anyways, believe it or not, this is a Heroclix podcast. It's not about food. Who'd have thunk? But let's get into the news so we can get the show rolling. I'm going to do a real quick thing about the whole Article 7. This is probably the worst article written to date. The person had an aneurysm or a stroke or something while typing this article, and it is very difficult to like comprehend and understand. They need to do their bullet points thing again, where it's like, this is what it was before. This is the change. And now like all
They
this
just do
stuff
half
is just
and
sort
half.
of it's just, yeah, it's sort
Well,
of
I just
there,
don't,
it's sort of not.
I don't have as much fun reading that way, so WizKids keeps it this way to keep the articles fun as well.
Right. If they didn't give me a migraine to read them, I would say they are fun to read. But
Well, you
yeah.
have to decipher the rules in the same way you decipher the game. Which I guess that's one and the same.
Yeah. So they did free versus at no cost, which is great. So, oh boy. At no cost helped people know that their close action, usually an attack, was still part of a costed action without requiring you to end with 2 action tokens at the end of the power. At the same time, it wasn't attacking as a free action, which might get wonky with special powers, blah, 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 blah. So, I don't know. There was a whole bunch of stuff, but really the takeaway was the swim thing. No one else paid attention to the place versus places and how they're changing that, or the free versus at no cost. And then it was but you can't be targeted within 4 squares. You have the swim team ability. And that was the only thing. And that wasn't even the point of the article, which was wild. That was just in a Q&A thing.
Yeah, that was a Q&A thing.
Which is also a weird way to put it. Yeah.
Huge change to the game, by the way.
That was interesting.
We'll put that at the very end as an answer to a question.
Sounds like a way to do it to me.
Yeah.
I am glad that
that's fun. I mean, that's fun. And then,
going forward with place versus places and stuff like that, because Heroclix has several. This is only one example of several times where they reuse phrasing, but it means different things in different contexts.
Right.
And I was you have the entirety of the English vernacular at your disposal. You could literally just go to Google, type in thesaurus, find a different word for whatever word you're using, and then use that in your rules. Also, I know WizKids listens to us because they've made several of our changes that we've suggested. Stop using may use. If I say, you may get in my car, that implies that there is a choice. If there is no choice involved, it's not can use or may use, it's uses. It's just uses. If I say get in my car, that's different than you may get in my car or you can get in my car, because then the victim still has a chance to run. And if I just say get in my car, that takes away the chance.
Car talk.
The worst case for that was always the may use battle fury.
Yeah.
It's you may use battle fury.
And you're just I don't want to use battle fury. And then your opponent's okay, fair enough.
Well, you have to.
I gave you the option and you didn't want to, so fair enough. No, so yeah, now places will be, things that are placed from outside the map will be generated. So, trouble alerts will technically be generated, bystanders will be generated, stuff like that. And then TK will continue placing, carrying figures will continue placing, knockback will probably continue placing, who knows. But yeah, that's one example of the several things that they definitely need to clean up with multiple words or phrases that there's just so many you could choose.
Right. And then obviously they're just getting rid of at no cost as well, which is just so fun. Places generates at no cost, gone. Goodbye. Well, places generates, just going to be specific. But yeah, what a fun article. And that's all I really want to say about that. It was a thing that happened this week. If you want to see me and Simeon play games with the new rules articles, head on over to our YouTube channel. We did a Thursday Throwdown, I guess technically Saturday Showdown this week because I was way behind. I should honestly be fired for how terrible my upload schedule has been. But either way, that's on YouTube. If you want to watch some Star Trek versus The Hobbit, but with new rules, it's there. If you want to watch it, it's there.
People have asked what the pinnacle of Heroclix is, folks. And I think you have the opportunity to see it now. This is Star Trek we're talking about, and not the good figures they've released recently. This is the OG Star Trek, spaceships on dials. You can't beat it. You can't beat it. There's some promotion.
There you go.
You heard it here first, folks.
Of course.
All right, guys. We didn't even pay him to say that. Give me your PayPal again after the show.
No problem.
Yep.
And then for the public as well, my PayPal is not selling out.
No, never. What? No, of course not. Goodness. Who would ever just spam their PayPal on their Discord server? I don't know anyone who would do that. Anyways, Simeon, you want to talk about these Doom chases? We know them all. And we know they work well together. But let's talk about just how stupid. Or actually, Ian, do you want to talk about Time Platform Dr. Doom a little bit here?
Yeah. I definitely do. I think this is something that needs to be changed. And this is something that I realized recently. So if this is old news, apologies. But I realized that Doctor Doom, for his trait, learn from the past, which is at the beginning of the game, roll 2d6s and place the results on this card. If Doctor Doom is 150 points, it's roll 3 instead. Whenever any attack roll is made, yes, any attack roll, you may replace a d6 in the roll with a d6 from this card. So there's a key distinction that makes this way more busted than any other dice manipulation piece we've seen, and that's the fact that the die is not removed. So you are just constantly taking dice from any attack roll, globally, no line of fire, nothing, the entire game. So you're just changing the outcome of, if you wanted to, literally every attack. And that is just, I don't know, that seems pretty good to me. And this is all without mentioning the object he has as well, and the fact that he can steal objects from your opponent as a free action just because. I mean, these chases are just insane, but this is, I don't know, this is just ridiculous. And the fact that he's not unique, like you could play 4 of these and have 8 dice to interchange throughout any time in the game for any attack roll. I just, yeah, I don't know. He is absurd, is what I'll say.
And you can get one for the low price of $200. Sold the most recently today, February 21st. That's great. And then there's another one for 164, another one for 170. It's just, ooh. You better hope you pull one of these guys, because wow.
Yeah.
Buy another case.
I mean, I think we all kind of knew that the chase that came with an object would be one of the higher ones. There's always like some of the bad chases that like nobody really wants to pull. And then like even if this one was middle of the road and came with a somewhat usable object, he'd be more expensive just because of that fact. But yeah, he's also not unique.
Right.
So yeah, you can play multiples and have multiple dies to choose from to swap. So it's a lot. And then if you win, so it becomes kind of funky if you lose map roll and you're second player, because
definitely.
First player gets to choose which beginning of the game effects go first. But if you win and you're the first player, you can choose to swap. You can choose to swap like from one Doom to a different Doom. And then you can do a different because that's at the beginning of the game. Then you can do a different at the beginning of the game effect. And then if you end up with time platform Doom, it's Dr. Doom may start the game with the time platform equipped. So it just, it's there. But yeah,
it's there.
It's a lot of stuff. He also, I think, 10 points or less. Yeah, if you swap to an opponent's object, they don't score the time platform. It gets like removed from the game for 0 points. So you just get to steal. If you want to do that, you get to steal one of their 10 point or less objects, and they just have like no recourse and no. They don't get any points for anything, and now they're like one object short.
Yeah, this just seems like. I think just the core issue of it is that this is one of the least interactive figures I think they've like ever made. Honestly, start of the game, I'm stealing your stuff. I'm rolling some dice for later. If you hit me, I might teleport back to my starting area if I, decide to keep it. If I don't want this Doom, I'll switch to another one. Like, I don't know. It's just, it is nasty.
Yeah, and we should say the object on its own, for 10 points, it has the effect, when this character hits a single opposing character instead of normal damage, you may place the hit character in its starting area. And then, in addition to that, when this character would take damage, you can choose to be placed in your starting area and KO the time platform when taking unavoidable damage. So it kind of gives you a way to negate like one big attack kind of thing. But the bigger thing is on any character, so there's several characters in Golden Age. In Modern, it's mostly just Jason Wingard, but any character that has kind of like a chain effect where they can hit multiple characters. So with Jason Wingard, he can mind control, and then using that character's square, when he's done mind controlling that character, he can draw range and line of fire and target another opposing character, and he can go through an entire team like that. And if he has this time platform equipped, he can send an entire team back to its own starting area, which just seems, I don't know, what's a good word? Let me open up a thesaurus. It seems pretty placed to me. It seems really. Oh no, that's a wrong thesaurus. Bad. It seems bad. It makes me feel bad when my entire force just got into position and then my opponent sends it back to the starting area. It makes me feel bad, and I like to play this game to feel not bad, to use WizKids terminology.
What do you think of the potential of the time platform on one-man armies? Is that something you think will be seen as kind of a get-out-of-jail-free card for when they do get hit hard?
After the rules change, I could kind of see it. So in like a one-man army or like a tentpole situation, because you'd have to be like 290 points with the time platform. I could kind of see it after the rules change when it's not as easy to stack damage, and when it's like a single character, like one 290 point figure could also have their own theme team prob and have like a +1 to initiative and stuff like that. I could see. I mean, you're not gonna completely take out your opponent's force, I don't think, with a one-man army, but
yeah, probably not.
With the time platform, you could definitely run it 2 time without taking,
I feel
a full damage.
Definitely feel the same way about it, where I think there's potential there as well. But just overall, looking at these Doom chases, I mean, so many of them just have like these nasty global effects, and really when it boils down to it, I think just most global effects are not healthy for this game. I mean, maybe that's just my own opinion, but like for example, Lord Doom just having, if an opponent's force has more characters than your force, opposing characters can't generate bystanders.
That actually, that got used against me. That. I couldn't. So in the game we played, I couldn't. My core, my little what is he? The Moloid core couldn't make Turg because I outnumbered my opponent, and so I couldn't make Turg. And without being able to make Turg, I couldn't use my other Moloid to give +1 stats. So it's Tong. Tong is the little lady in the dress. She can't give my Moloids +1 combat values if I don't have all like 4 of them on the map. So Lord Doom just like nerfed my whole team, and at no point during the match was I like able to make my little Turg such a good bystander.
Just, like if it happened from if he like did something, or maybe you had to roll for it, anything, but the fact that it's legitimately just you can't do that, man. I don't know. I don't like that. I think that's pretty lame. Sculpt is great.
I would have just thought, and I know obviously these sets are made way in advance from like other sets, but especially with 1776, who has a global effect, they've clearly learned their lesson.
Yeah.
That like, this is not good. You should have to do something to be able to use that. Yeah. But instead, nope, that's not the way it is.
Well, there's all caps Doom that locks your opposing force. They can't take more costed actions each turn than 1 per 100 points. And then which one is it? There's Doom the Annihilating Conqueror that makes cosmic future and past keywords get the Latveria keyword. So it's like some keyword cheating kind of stuff. And then I can't remember which one is it that removes all the if you would gain keywords.
That'd be the Annihilating Conqueror. And I really like the way he does it. So you don't get any keywords that you don't already have on your card. So if you're making the Spider-Man family theme team, that person will be able to use the theme probs. Since this is at the beginning of the game, you'll still be able to roll as a theme team, which is nice.
Oh, yeah.
But if you do that, Then he gets Power Cosmic this game, which is really sick for the Annihilating Conqueror. So he's like a running shot pulse. Otherwise, he doesn't have Power Cosmic. So you're like, yeah, I'm swapping this guy out. This sucks. Because then he won't have willpower. But that won't matter here in a little bit. But anyways, yeah, like that's really cool. Gives him Power Cosmic. And then you can still do that. You can be like, okay, you lose all your keywords, but still the beginning of my game. I'm just going to switch him out anyways. So sucks to suck, bro. Let's grab one of these other Dooms, you know?
And like,
so yeah,
they are, you know, this is a really cool mechanic. It sucks that they're all chases because they are all just also really cool characters. But like, my gosh, they made these abilities really strong. And then when you just tack on that they're all interchangeable, it just, I don't know. I don't see a reason to not play him on like every team I make for the next 2-3 years, however long it's in Modern. But I'll be playing a ton of these chases. There's no question.
Yeah. So even I was working on team building for Adam's tournament with Clix in it that's coming up here. And I had a hard time. I think I put Doom on like 3 out of the 5 teams I built. I was like, I don't know how I don't play this guy. Honestly. Like it's fun. It's crazy cool. He's a freaking toolbox. They're slightly quote unquote balanced because they do take up sideline space, you know, but then you're just like, well, I don't need to play Valeria or Dr. Thing or like whatever. So you can sort of pick and choose what you feel like will work the best with the rest of your team. And then you're like, damn, they all work so well. Like it's crazy. Like there are some more whatever close combat themed ones. There's more range themed ones. But either way, you just give them all the Carnage symbiote or Exo specs, and it works for all of them. So who cares? So like, yeah, really they're nutty.
Like they can rise to any occasion. Like you have an answer to a lot of stuff in, you know, like 1 or 2 pieces that you're running. And I think for the most part, like you are playing them at 75. I don't really see any of them that I would play at 150. Like maybe Dr. Thing. I don't know why. I just think he's pretty hard to take down. I think it'd be fun to play as like a tentpole-esque figure, but
yeah, I think Dr. Thing is one of the better ones, to be honest.
75. I think so too. I think he's being slept on a bit.
Yeah, I know
you can't swap him if you equip Galactus, but I think Galactus on Dr. Thing could be pretty fun.
I think post rules change, post Wonder Woman, some of these things at 150 isn't going to be. It's not going to be like the crazy. Like you might play a Doom at 150 and one at 75, and you can swap either one of them out. Like you could even swap. So I could play Lord Doom at 150 and Dr. Thing at 75, and then I could swap my 150 Lord Doom for a 150 Dr. Thing and my 75-point Dr. Thing for a 75-point Lord Doom, because none of them are unique. So I can just interchange however I want if I'm running 225 points of that. But yeah, Lord Doom at 150, he's what, an 11 speed charge with full speed charge. You don't have the speed.
12 for 4.
Yeah, 12 attack top dial with 4 damage, exploit weakness. So, and he bursts through walls. He ignores hindering, which I don't know what that means anymore. Improved movement hindering must mean that he can just see through it when he moves through it.
Yeah, so something like that.
Maybe it gives him dolphin. I don't know. But yeah, I can see stuff like that working post rules change, because it's going to be a lot harder to do some big hits on these characters.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. It's just it's a little harder to like actualize that still, but could definitely see that. You know,
I think the one thing for pretty much all of these chases, except for like whatever, Doom the Annihilating Conqueror, they're at the very least, and this is being kind of nitpicky, they aren't protected outwit. So if you are super worried about these Dooms, like, oh man, Dr. Thing, how am I going to take that guy out? Oh, very simple, actually. Outwit his defense power, and then you go from there. So that is one thing to keep in mind. And we haven't even talked about like Sorcerer Supreme either. Being able to, once per attack, you just get a reroll. The attack roll is insane. I mean, that's range and line of fire.
Yeah, see,
that's my mind. They didn't make that a global effect. Because why not at this point?
It should have been.
I mean,
fair and balanced to me.
In Golden Age, you just give him whichever relic, the Yu-Gi-Oh relic that lets him see through everything anyhow. And
only you would know what the Yu-Gi-Oh relic is. You realize that.
No, like referencing that, I mean, you might as well reference a different game. Like, what?
No, there's the Battle of the Millennium set, technically.
Yeah, so anyway, in Warhammer 40K, when I have all my troops...
Yeah, sorry, your Lord Doom wasn't facing the correct direction when he began charging.
Exactly.
It's the Millennium Eye. So no, that's the Outwit one. It's the Millennium Ring.
You don't even know.
You still got it wrong.
You don't even know it.
The Millennium Ring. So in Golden Age, this character can use improved targeting, ignores elevated terrain, hindering terrain, characters, and may make a ranged combat attack against any opposing character within range and line of fire, even if that character is in an adjacent square. So it basically gives them sharpshooter with ignores elevated and hindering and characters. So having that and then being able to reroll literally every attack that happens in a turn, because it's not prob, it's may reroll
just
attacks.
Reroll.
Yeah, so he can absolutely every single attack that happens in a single turn he can reroll, which is pretty nuts. Not as nuts as Time Platform Doom, who can just swap out dice constantly, but I mean, why not just play both?
Like, this dude has a specific thing, both? And Time Platform Doom is just better. Yeah. Yep. Not even wrong. Not even, yeah. No, I can't even argue that. You're right. Just play both. It's a little taco commercial. It's like, why not both? Like, yeah, you're right. You're right. You know, you're
really looking at it, it's like, oh, I could play one Doom for 150, but two at 75. Oh, okay. I don't know. They are just something else.
Yeah. And we've already known that, like, so besides the keyword cheating that you can do with, like, I think is it Annihilate and Conquer does the keyword? Yeah, the Foe 4 and then Future Past. Yeah. So the keyword cheating that's like, Cosmic Future Past, and then Latveria already being a good keyword, and then I think does also the new Morgan Le Fay do like Avengers to Latveria?
Yep.
She does.
Well, not new,
so, like,
but the legacy card. Yeah.
Oh, right. The old legacy. Yeah, the new legacy card, Morgan Le Fay. So, like, whoever, like, 10 years ago wanted Latveria, I guess Latveria wasn't even a keyword 10 years ago, keyword last year. So, like, now Latveria, I don't think anyone would have guessed that Latveria is now, like, a crazy strong keyword. Like, stronger than I would say maybe the strongest named keyword, but not that named keywords matter anymore. But still, like, one of the strongest named keywords right now. It's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really wondering how theme teams will shape up after these rule changes. Like, well, not shape up, I guess stack up would be the right phrase. Like, will it be as important? I really don't think so. I mean, if it caps at +3,
And then your map, like, to me, the biggest thing for theme team was always just winning map.
Absolutely.
And now you can't reliably do that anymore. So it's, man, what's the point? It's so rough.
If at most,
like, I would have preferred if you would have changed, like, I would have been cool if they would have did, like, instead of the whole theme prob fix where they were like, oh, Captain Venom makes a name theme team. Well, how about instead you get double the theme props? If they would have said you get double to your map roll, so now you're at least a +6 on your opponent, that's an extra die, then I would have been cool with it, honestly, more than the theme prob thing. But it is what it is.
Mathematically, a few people have said, like, a +3 to, like, a +0. So if you have +3 over your opponent, that still gives you, like, a 70-some% bonus to, like, initiative. You know how many times somebody's had, like, over a +3 and rolled a crit against me, or, like, rolled really low for initiative, and I've managed to roll, like, the average of, like, 7 or 8? Like, it's gonna happen. So it's it's like 70% likely that you'll get it, but that's not how dice work. Dice aren't like, well, we'll give you the average roll. They're a very fickle kind of thing, you know, because they're anywhere in the range from 2 to 12, so you're gonna get, like, a low roll, and occasionally your opponent's gonna get a high roll. So yeah, it's absolutely not a thing you can bank on anymore by any stretch of the imagination. I would never make a team going forward, I would never make a team that can only work on like a specific map like I have in the past. And yeah, it's going to be interesting because
it's good to move away from, though. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad move. I don't think it fixes the fact that the second player gets kind of hosed by not only not getting to pick the map, but also not getting a full turn of first turn immunity. But I think it's a good step in the right direction to like at least balance the playing field as far as. Also, I mean, we don't have to look at teams that are just full of like 70, 80 points of filler to make sure the map goes in the right direction.
Oh, my collection of 7 Wendigos,
right?
What have you? Yeah, definitely good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to help everybody for team building, where it's like, oh, I've got a Batman team. If I just lose, I just sort of lose. Like, that's it, period. If I don't get my open map, then I'm just like, I'm gone. You know, so now it's like people are going to at least think a little harder when it comes to team building instead of like, well, I've got a monster team and I'm going to slap on a million Wendigos and now I will win map. Haha. No, it's not going to happen, which is cool. Like,
yeah, I'm all for it. All for it.
Now, if you run
by
a
all
team
means,
with
thinking a little harder, making sure your team like what?
Yeah.
No, Simeon, go for it. No, Simeon, talk over me, Simeon. Go for it.
If you run a team with just Wendigos now, or just like Wendigos and like some mystical stuff or monster stuff, and you go against a JLU Batman and like Dr. Fate team or whatever, all your Wendigos can just get hosed in like turn 1. I mean, not all of them, but every single one that Batman can see, and then before you close the gap, he's going to do it again. So, yeah, it's...
It comes back to that problem of, let's get rid of these global abilities. Like, why is Batman hosting a concert this hard in the map? I don't know. How does he do it?
And Bats, those lyrics, you didn't have to go so hard, man.
And you didn't have to pay any points for speakers?
When they were designing that Batman, you know there was one guy that was like, man, is in-capping everyone he can see too powerful? And he was like, no, the mind control might be a bit much, but I think we'll be fine.
Word it more poorly so we can make
and then,
it even
like,
stronger.
Year 1 of him being played, and they're like, oh, we didn't realize... We didn't realize at all. Like, the implication is the problem, yeah.
Because of the implication.
Okay. You had me going there for the first part. The second half kind of threw me. Okay, that seems really dark.
No, it's not dark. You're misunderstanding me, bro.
I think I am.
Yeah, you are, because of the implication.
Now, you've said that word implication a couple of times. What implication?
The implication that things might go wrong.
Yeah, my gosh.
But the implication. Insert the implication right there, Simeon.
I would say just to kind of wrap up the thought on like just map choice. I have played enough games on Ancient Hold to know that I don't really want to play there again. I hate that map, and the fact that, you know, you go against some teams and it's just like, all right, this is where we're going. It just sucks. Like, losing the map off of an initiative roll.
Yeah.
It just feels awful because you know where the game's headed. Like, you always have a chance to win, but you know what the likely outcome is.
I will say, I don't normally like say that I'll like concede a game, but what was it, like the Rock Labyrinth map, the ROC Labyrinth map or something like that? I played on that like once, and when I had to roll for the map again, I was like, if I lose this map roll, I will not play on that map again. It's like way too oppressive, closes down way too many avenues, and then the other team was specifically designed to work on it. So I was like, yeah, I'll just concede. Like, that was one of the few times in my Heroclix career where I was like, I'll absolutely just concede rather than playing on this map again. And the fact that I don't actually have to like worry about that as much now, I'm like, at most my opponent has a +3 against me. I don't know.
It's great. It's fantastic.
It's future
There's
foundation.
Some maps that should have never been made.
It's a foundation we can build the future of Hero.
See, I knew you were going to say something stupid. And with
All
that,
right.
we can wrap up our Dr. Doom discussion for now.
To not just affect the now, but affect the future.
Down 7, 8, 9, 6, 1, 1 of the bit of 2, 3, 4, 4 of the bit of 5, 66 and 25, total $66.
Heroclix.
Trade away.
Ian, you want to talk about number one, when a new set drops, what do we always get bombarded with on Facebook, ladies and gentlemen, or on eBay, depending on what you look at? That's exactly right. That's exactly right, listener. Thank you. It's sale posts. We see sale posts literally everywhere constantly for the first couple of weeks after a set drops. Normally, there's like a pre-release, crazy sale prices, not really any pre-release going on right now, so that's whatever. It is what it is. And then, of course, once everybody gets it, everybody's selling it. Some people haven't even got their product yet, and they're just, boom, they're going nuts. This set is especially crazy cool because we've got objects that always affects the price of figures. We have chases that are just nutty, insanely expensive, and we have legacy cards that will affect the price of not only what they cost, but like older figures as well. So something that we've been kind of wanting to have Ian on the show for a while was a little economic analysis going on here. So I'm just going to let you have the reins for this part of the show, my man.
All right, for sure, man. Awesome. So, yeah, something I've always found interesting about Heroclix, just one of the components I've been continually fascinated by, is just the price of figures and kind of what drives them. Because obviously, I think at this point, especially with COVID, I'm a collector first. And, I don't want to pay these absorbent prices for figures. So finding the right time to buy can be everything. I think the most recent example of that can be seen in 1776, the Spider-Man chase from the last set. Everybody remembers the errata that pretty much bricked him. You saw his price get cut in half. As a buyer, kind of knowing that that was inevitable ahead of time, would have paid off in the long run, because I think, just days before that, it was selling for roughly like 140 to 170. And then the day after, you were looking at prices of like 100. And that just feels awful. So, always being able to predict that is one thing. But kind of segue into this new set. It was very interesting. So the first day a set comes out, if there are figures I want, I will sit on eBay and I will look for them. That's just, I don't know what I do. But the output for this time around was very, very limited. Like, we were already seeing, there's a few things that could attribute to it, but there just weren't a lot of figures being posted on secondary markets or Facebook at all. It was relatively dead for a release day. And, you could attribute that to kind of the distribution of HOX, like maybe people weren't buying as much this time around. Like you're saying, a lot of people hadn't gotten their product. But what I think it really is that people are already holding on to these chases. And I think the market that the Doom chases are seeing is very comparable to the Spider-Man ones, where there's just an infinite amount of potential in them. Being able to swap out between 8 different chases, they're all cool characters. They're all popular, they're all valuable, they're high rarity. There's everything you want right there. So I think people are already really just holding on to these chases, and they'll be tougher to get. So as far as chases for this set go, I'm saying buy them as quick as you can. If you do want them, I think now is the time. There is one exception to that, though, and I think that is Prisoner Doom. So you brought up earlier, Kalder, the pre-release prices and how they are just massively higher than, what you see like a week later. Prisoner Doom sold for roughly $130, $140 like the week before the set came out. And if you go on eBay, you can search, you'll see everybody asking this $130, $140 or $140 price tag. And he's just not selling for that. But people continue to ask for it. So that pre-release price kind of set like a floor price for it. But it's just interesting because nobody's paying that. So there's, the occasional case where they're not really worth that. But I'd say that's like the one chase that kind of goes against the grain for this set. I think the rest of them are just, if you can buy them and if you want them, I think now is the time. But that's kind of my take on that. And you were also mentioning that equipment can always drive the price of a figure. The flexibility, the variability of that is always something interesting as well. And we are seeing that a bit in this set. This is the first set with equipment on primes. So I'm interested to see how the price fluctuates there, especially considering that I think the object that the Prime Diablo comes with is good. I think, I don't know. I'm interested to see if Prime equipment becomes, one, like a thing they'll do again, and two, how high that price ceiling can get if it is, competitive worthy. Another thing that I thought was really interesting in this set is the legacy cards. And so I think this will be something that's comparable to team-up cards, where they'll be pretty hot at first. People will be racing to get them. But as more sets come out, as time goes on, I'm not entirely convinced that these legacy cards will be worth a ton. I think the figures they go on will probably increase in value, considerably. But just overall, from what we've seen, I don't think any of these legacy cards are really worth playing. And I think that's one of the biggest factors that can drive the price up. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I'm kind of riffing here.
I will say, yeah,
No,
to
man,
go along with that,
it's all good.
That last point especially, the Morgan Le Fay legacy card is probably the most sought after one, and it's also the most altered one that I've noticed. So as far as the original Morgan Le Fay super rare did not have 2 point costs on her dial. Now she does, and they lowered her point cost. They also altered one of her traits. They added a new trait. They did a bunch of altering to that one specifically, whereas the other ones got some minor alterations, but especially when it comes to point costs, they didn't do a whole lot. So whenever they drop a figure, so Morgan was 130 something points, and
around there.
They gave her 100, or they gave her 100 point value and a 50 point value, I believe, on the new legacy card. And whenever they do that, whenever they give a figure a 50 point value as an option, it instantly becomes playable, because a 50 point investment into a 300 point game is 1/6 your build. And so you can always fit something that's not amazing, but does one really solid thing for your team, or a few really solid things for your team at that point value. And so 50 point Morgan Le Fay can now bring Avengers onto a Latveria themed team. She has Perplex. She's got Prob top dial. She still has that combat reflexes, energy shield deflection option, bunch of different stuff that she does top dial and for 50 points. And it's pretty solid. They did not do the 50 point line for Zavin or She-Hulk. I guess She-Hulk has a 75 point line, but still the 50 point is the real kicker, where it's the real money area for any figure is 50 and lower, because that can just fit on an infinite number of teams for 50 points. But I did notice day one of having the legacy cards shown, we didn't know what all was going to be on there. And then once we had the Scott Porter unboxings, and we knew Morgan Le Fay, Invisible Woman, Human Torch, all those figures were going to be legacy cards, every online retailer instantly sold out of those figures.
It was instant.
And now this old super rare Morgan Le Fay that you used to be able to pick up for $5 to $8 is now being sold for $40.
I've seen right at when it was released, when we saw the preview, people were asking 24. It was filling all day. People would pay that. And then, just recently, people have been asking 40, and they're paying for it. I mean, it's crazy how these old figures are turning around in value like that.
I mean,
But I think you'll see similar trends where the second you see those legacy cards, those old figures, they're getting bought up the second they're previewed.
And I mean,
it's gross.
This is to go further into this whole discussion of price points and stuff. This is not something that's easy to get when you're a new player to the game. It's
absolutely
incredibly hard to kind of. I mean, I'm X amount of years into the game now, and I still struggle with figuring out which characters are going to be the sellout characters that everyone's going to want multiples of, and yada yada. Because on release day, stuff like Wendigo is only a rare. I mean, he's still only a rare. He's only a rare in the set, but the rares for the Colossals in X-Men Days of or Dark Phoenix Saga, in X-Men Dark Phoenix Saga, the rares were kind of like a super rare, because that would be your 1 per brick. I think you got 1 colossal rare in your brick.
It was 2 rares and then 1 super rare for that set.
For the Colossals. So yeah, there's a good chance that like Wendigo, and like just seeing that 15-point line, seeing everything that he did for that 15-point line, I think it like clicked in a lot of people's heads that like anything that's, I mean, this is, you know, pre new rules, anything that was like a cheap, good keyword figure, like super cheap, 15 points and lower, anything that like just was like a filler and like also had a role that it could play was instantly like a good figure. Wendigo, especially with the fact that he could heal past his like starting click and just go in like infinity and beyond kind of mode, shot his price like way up once people started realizing, and like, so it's hard to see that kind of like effect later in like the line. So as a very new player, I will say, always sell as early as you can, because that's when you're like pre-release and release day. That's always going to be the highest price point. And then buying like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, even like several months down the line.
Most of the time.
Most of the time,
right?
Simeon. Asterisk on that, sell right away. Most of the time, because like any Parker, right? They're like, whatever. And then it's like, oh man, robots are pretty legit. And then her price jacked up crazy high.
Yeah.
But you know, something that is focused on in this conversation is like the competitive viability of like figures, rather than, I think, I guess a metric that isn't looked at as much, and that's just popularity of the character itself. I think I had mentioned this already, but the super rare Apocalypse from House of X, I don't think he's like a particularly amazing figure. I don't think he's bad. You know, he's not great. But then you factor in the fact that, well, we haven't seen Apocalypse in 10 years.
Right.
You know, this big, like, Apocalypse hasn't been made in forever. So then you see this massive shift in price. Like, first week, I could have bought 20 or 30 of them for like $35-$40. And then a week after that, it's like, you cannot find this guy on eBay at all. $70, $80, like, no question. So it's like, I feel like lately I've been thinking, it's like, I think popularity of a character can drive a price even more than competitive viability. I think Punisher War Machine is a good case of that as well, where almost instantly that figure was like, what, 130, 140? And then he just shot up insanely high when he was starting to make a competitive splash there for a second.
I think Old Man Phoenix is a good example of that too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So there's another aspect, and so as far as like a new player that like, you know, doesn't really have like a great competitive aspect or like collectible aspect of the game, it's hard to gauge like certain figures. So Old Man Phoenix is probably the first and only Old Man Phoenix we will ever get. So a lot of people that get one want to hold on to it. And since so many people are holding on to it, the price goes up for the people that are willing to sell. It's not technically, I wouldn't say it's like a meta capable figure.
No.
By any stretch of like the imagination.
It could be, right?
Sure. I mean anything can be given the right circumstances. Same with that Prime Apocalypse. He is specifically a horseman of the apocalypse with, like, you know, he's got the trait for the 4 horsemen. He does a lot of stuff, and he's just very much like a iconic, especially if you like watch the 90s X-Men cartoon. He's like the Apocalypse that we didn't get for that set. And so he's very iconic. That's why people really want to hold on to that. He's also, you know, a super rare Prime, so he's more rare than a super rare, arguably more rare than a Chase. And so people that really like the figure aren't going to sell it. And if they are going to sell it, they're going to sell it for the price that they want. So that can drive a price. Meta capability is something that's harder to determine until you're really into the game and you can really like see, like, you know, this figure, like nobody would have put money that, Octopus Woman, Octopus Girl, Doctor Octopus Lady Octopus.
Pretty sure she's Doctor Octopus or Lady Octopus.
It's Lady Octopus. Yeah. Nobody would have put money that figure's worth anything. And I'd still say that like nobody would actually ever play that competitively, but its equipment's gotten used so often that when selling that figure with the equipment, you get like a inflated price, because if it didn't have that equipment, the price for it would be like bottom barrel super rare. It'd be, like $3.
Oh, yeah, $5.
Yeah, like it'd be super cheap. But with the object, all of a sudden it has that added value, and it's hard to see that as a new player. It's especially hard like if you're like looking over these dooms and you're trying to determine which one is the best. This is one of those like things where maybe you just hold on to it for a while, because the ability to switch between them like really changes the value.
I think the reason I was so excited to talk about this, and I wish I could have been on earlier, kind of like before the release, so I could, make some predictions on it. But whatever. Oh, it's all good to talk about it in post as well. To circle back to Doom, I think he just meets like everything on the checkbox for just being insanely expensive, and why I think you should pick them up now rather than lately. This is an incredibly popular character who has not been made that much. Well, he's been made 4 or 5 times in 10 years. Like, they lost the license to him. I mean, it's been a while. So people are ready to see him again. The rarity, obviously, and then the competitive use. He checks all those boxes 10 or 15 times. And this is every version of him. I think the only one I'm really not reaching to play is like Valeria. I just don't think she does a lot. I don't know. I'm not huge on her, but
doesn't
every
do a
other
lot
chase,
that the other ones don't.
You can just ignore her, I think, is the biggest issue. Like, if you attack her, you can get in some deep doo-doo, but other than that, not seeing a whole lot there. But yeah, if you have the opportunity to get these Doom chases for a reasonable price, definitely consider it, because in my opinion, these are chases that are only going to go up in value. And I just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like they'll really mimic the Spider-Man chases, or even like the Hammer of Thor chases, or not Hammer of Thor, excuse me, the Mighty Thor, where all the ones that came with equipment, it was a select few, but they just went to these astronomical prices. I think Doom has the same potential because, once again, just checks off those boxes. All right.
Another box that's like really cool is alternate versions of characters. For some reason, I mean, we've got a million Doctor Dooms now recently, but these are all alternate versions. This is pretty much one and done. We're not going to get another, Savage Land Doom or a Doom Annihilating Conqueror or a Sorcerer Supreme Doom. Like
Darth Vader Doom. We won't see him.
Or Darth Vader Doom. It's not going to happen. Like this is it. This is pretty much the only time we'll ever see these guys. And alternate versions of characters are crazy expensive. So. Super Rare Prime, whatever, Punisher War Machine, right? And then obviously his price jumped up once people started playing him more competitively, but he was still like $100-something figure, set release. Captain Venom. No one plays a monster theme team anymore. It wasn't even that great but still Captain Venom's like $120. It's just, Venom version of Captain America. And it's fun casually, and all that stuff. But for some reason, even though I'm a Captain America fan, sure, but like the rest of those Venoms are also still popular characters, but he's still the only one that's over $100 right now because he does like cool, neat stuff and alternate versions of characters. How cool the sculpts are! Like, man, Sorcerer Supreme and Annihilating Conqueror have some dope sculpts.
Oh,
I love the way some of these Doom sculpts look. So, that helps out too. Or even just talking about people wanted God Emperor Doom for a really long time. That's an amazing, awesome alternate version of Doom. And he wasn't an Ultra Chase. He wasn't whatever. He's just like a same chase as the rest of those. But because he was Doom, and even though he's not, he's not as good as he could be, I was a little bummed about the dial and everything. He still was selling for like 300, 250, like in that range, set release. Because he's a popular character. It's an alternate version. People have wanted God Doom for so long, especially since we already got a Battle World set and he was absent from it. So, like, these are big factors. Alternate versions of characters are... People love that stuff. Because, I love that. Everybody loves that stuff,
Oh, yeah.
So it's huge. It's huge for price.
Yeah.
And I feel like, the biggest takeaway is definitely just... It's so easy to get fixated on the dial and what the piece can do in-game and how crazy they're going to shift that. And while that can have, a massive influence on the price of them, keeping in mind the other factors of them, like Kalder's saying here, the alternate sculpts or alternate costumes or versions, what have you, yeah, a lot of things can play into it, and it's always something to consider. So the next time a new set drops, really think about the popularity of them. You know, how badly are people going to want to just keep this piece? Not for playability reasons, just, you know, to have.
I'll say, like, I'll throw
like
in
the majority of the player base collectors.
The Thanos Ultra Chase, for example, not super competitive, like viable, but he did two things.
I tried to make him.
Yeah, he's still. I will still say he's like on that borderline where he's too good for casual by like a mile, but he's not quite competitive. But he fills two of like the things where he has an object it's not just an object, it's also an Ultra Chase object, which is the first and only one we've had so far. And then he's also like an iconic character. Like the ABPI set dropped almost in tandem with Avengers Endgame. I can't remember exactly where it fell, but it was right around the same time that was fresh in people's minds.
Oh,
and
it was like 4 months. It was 4 months after, but okay, Simeon.
Oh,
sure,
yeah.
Simeon, whatever you
say. Things aren't
Simeon.
fresh in people's minds 4 months
after. It was
after.
the end of the Marvel era.
Sure.
It was.
People have already
that's
forgotten
fair.
about that Star Trek movie that came out in the 70s. So, no, but what I'm saying is like Thanos has like only been clixed a handful of times in the last 10 years. And so the popularity of the character, especially like driven by like the movies and stuff building up to him, having a version of him that was like actually really playable, and then making him an Ultra Chase and an object definitely made him like one of the most sought after Ultra Chases we've had in a while. And I think he's still, I mean, granted, several of them have rotated.
Right around 160 for him. I mean, 170 maybe, right around there, I'd say.
He's still like rocking like a high cost to pick up, so that's an offshoot. Clearly, if you get an Ultra Chase, it's going to be more expensive than the regular ones. But I mean, if you had sold the Thanos Ultra Chase day one, probably got like $200. If you waited a little bit, you might have got a little bit more.
Day one, Ultra Chase Thanos was going. I saw people slinging him for 350, 400.
It was 400, 500 something.
Yeah, there was that.
Yeah.
Who was it that? Was it Devin who pulled 2 on release day?
Some real scumbag pulled 2 in one night. Could you imagine that?
Yeah, there was one in front of me
just
pulled, and then one
Devin.
behind me pulled. I was sandwiched between the two pulls.
Oh my!
That's why I've repressed the memory.
Hurt.
So yeah, I guess yeah. But he still is like he's held value over like the last 2 years, so it's not like a figure that you would have lost a ton of money on by not selling right away. Whereas like Peggy Carter, instantly, like what is she at now? Like $60? Like nobody wanted
probably
Peggy
right around
Carter
like,
after the first couple weeks.
I'd put her 70 to 100 right around there. But yeah, like, and you know, White Rabbit too, the first Ultra Chase, like. I remember when she was revealed, everyone was just like, okay, well, at least I don't have to go after this, you know? I didn't even know who White Rabbit was, to be honest, so.
Well, it's a figure that you have to chase because...
That was a pretty bad
rabbit.
one. Like, I get it, chasing the rabbit or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but man, was that just a terrible pick? Of all like the alternate versions of Justice League members or something that you could have done, you chose just some White Rabbit chick. But all right, I think that wraps up this pretty well. I'm glad we had you on, Ian, to talk about it, and definitely try to get our schedules worked out a bit better. We can get you on again.
I ended up having to work that night, so it just is what it is.
So, yeah. But I think it'd be a pretty cool reoccurring segment, especially if people like it. Get you on before set release, sort of talk about what to keep their eye out for, what they unbox, and everything. So I think that could be really fun.
Hard on the Doom chases, but you know, I would love to throw out predictions and what figures I think will hold long-term value. I think it'd be fun. So yeah,
a little r/Heroclixbets every couple of months
there
here.
You go. All right.
Time. But all right, guys, it is time for the game that is sweeping the nation. That's right. I mean, it swept the nation. The nation's pretty clean as far as this game goes. So we're gonna play a little bit of Bad Samaritan. I have chosen 3 modern age figures, and Simeon and Ian, we're going to work sort of as a team to guess who they are. So it'll be one figure at a time. They will get one clue about a figure, and then they will get to make their guess based on that clue. There will be 3 rounds where they each get another clue, and then if they can't guess the figure at the end of those 3 rounds, I will get a point. If either Simeon or Ian get it, they will individually get a point. And obviously, I choose 3 figures. There are 3 of us, so there's potential for a tie. If we do get a tie, I will have an object that they will have to try and guess. All of these are modern age. Fantastic Four has not been out for a week just yet, so it will not be modern age yet. So it is going to be Batman the Animated Series 2, House of X, Simeon. Oh, and if you want to, after I give the clue, you can go ahead and pause, make your own guess before you hear Simeon and Ian's guessing and discussion. Maybe that won't influence you so much, but anyway, Simeon, hopefully that gave you enough time to pull up a random number generator 1 through 20, and I'm ready for the first clue if you are.
All right. The first clue is going to be number 10.
Ooh. Number 10 is when I realized I lie and I haven't pulled up my bad. So name of special power. This character's special power is going to be a speed power, and the name is Mercenary Assassin.
Oh, that's got to be...
Are there any modern Deadpools?
Yeah, there's one in XDPS, but I think this is a Deadpool counterpart, Deathstroke, specifically the super rare from the animated series where he's got like the flashy effect, or not?
Oh yeah, the
series,
lightning
Rebirth,
behind him.
Rebirth with the flash effect. That's my guess. Deathstroke.
Okay. Well, Deathstroke will cover all the Deathstrokes, so don't be too worried about it.
But specifically that Deathstroke.
Specifically, you're going for the Flash Deathstroke, it would seem.
Can
all
I
right.
pick the same answer as him? Because I'm like pretty.
You can. I can give you guys a half point if that's the way you want to do things.
That's no fun.
Exactly.
All right,
Exactly.
I'll guess Superman then.
That
My
deadly
favorite
mercenary
assassin.
Superman.
Superman.
Yeah, it's like the Russian version of him or something, maybe. No.
There you go. Well, I'm going to need another clue because, believe it or not, Simeon is wrong, despite wanting to split points, which is funny. Then you mentioned Russian Superman. Anyways, all right. Yeah, so we're going to need a round 2, clue number 2.
Dang,
Simeon.
I thought you were on the money there, Simeon. My bad.
Yeah. Speed power called
Throwaway
Deadly Assassin or something like that.
Mercenary Assassin, excuse you.
Oh, that's where I got it wrong. Mercenary. See, Slade Wilson is not paid. Wade Wilson gets paid. So, clue 2 is number 9.
Ooh, number 9 is going to be top dial stats. This character has 7 speed, 11 attack, 17 defense, and 1 damage.
Oh, geez.
7, 11, 17, 1.
That's real slow. That's definitely not the hypersonic Deathstroke then.
I don't know. I'm still convinced.
7 speed.
It's like
Maybe Calder lied. Just guess Deathstroke again. See if he's like, all right, you guys, now you're right.
Okay, yeah. That's what it was.
7, 11, 17, 1. It's a weird stat line.
Yeah, the 1 makes me think like a generic with blades or like somebody with blades.
I'm thinking like Mind Control in cap kind of esque piece.
I mean, that could be too. But it's clearly not someone that's just punching on their own.
Yeah. 7, 11, 17, 1. And they're in a mercenary assassin. Oh gosh, I actually have no clue.
I'll throw out.
At this time, I'd like to remind everybody
one of like the Spider-Man people, not alter egos, whatever they're called.
The sidekicks or secret identities.
Secret identity, thank you. That sounds like a secret identity stat line.
Like a Flash Thompson or something.
all those sidekicks in the
Which one of
Spider-Man.
them had one?
Simeon.
Gosh. Oh.
I'm gonna go with
I want to say
Taskmaster.
is like Eddie Brock.
You going with Taskmaster? Simeon, is that locked in?
Yeah, he's an assassin. I figure he might do something assassin-y.
Gosh, I really don't have an answer for this. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'll say Eddie Brock. I know that's wrong.
Okay. Going with Eddie Brock and Taskmaster. It is going to be the third and final clue for this figure, because neither of those are right.
All right.
Ooh, I'm getting close. I'm getting
Third
close to my first
clue.
point. I almost feel it.
It's clue number 1.
Ooh, clue number 1 is going to be significant appearance. This character's significant appearance was Doctor Strange, Sorcerer Supreme, number 11, 1989. Don't look that up. Just think about it.
Oh, my
Appeared
favorite.
in Doctor Strange.
Well, this gets rid of my other guess, which was going to be Deadpool Duck, because I feel like he definitely appeared before 1989. That was like a 83 or 4 kind of thing. Also gets rid of
it was
my
definitely
Triple
way
H
after.
guess. Triple H is an assassin, of course. His significant appearance was
It's true.
not in Sorcerer Supreme or whatever Kalder said.
I seriously, I am like the stat line has destroyed me. I don't know anybody who starts with that.
Yeah, I don't want to say so. Like what was the comic that he appeared in?
It was Doctor Strange, Sorcerer Supreme, number 11, 1989. And I just hear the tapping of a keyboard.
So, well, that would lead me to believe it's like some sort of like Baron
It sounded like a
Mordo,
typewriter.
Hey, come on! I'm working with what I got here, Calder.
Baron Mordo,
I got you.
or like Doctor Doom or something like that. But none of them would have an 11 for 1, and they wouldn't be like a hired flunky, like a mercenary person. So none of those really make sense for me. I feel like that's a red
There's
herring.
like a what's the name of what's like Red Skull's real name? There's a character, and I think it's ABPI, who has like 7, 11, 17 with like Mastermind.
Was it Alexander
He's an
Lukin?
uncommon.
Is that that was the Captain America something or other? Baron.
I'll go with
No,
that.
I don't
That's
know.
what I will guess. Alexander Lukin.
Okay.
We'll go with that.
Going for Alexander Lukin. Alexander.
Thank you, Simeon.
Don't thank me yet. I'm 100%
right,
sure
Simeon.
that's wrong.
No, it's right. It's correct. It's correct.
Let's see.
I have no clue. I'm done on this one.
I feel like Elektra could be both like a paid mercenary assassin and appear in a Doctor Strange thing.
Well,
But
Simeon's brain is trying to figure out this figure. Why don't you go ahead and head on over to the Heroclix YouTube channel and go ahead and hit subscribe right there. Go ahead and like our latest video. It'll be a big help. Really appreciate it, guys.
I'm trying to think
comment
of-
if you ever want to review this podcast. You still on iTunes? Shimmy, shut up. Just think, bro. Anyways, if you ever want to
who
review
would
this
you pay?
podcast, you can do it on Podbean, iTunes, Spotify. Be great. It would be great. So it really helps the podcast grow, gets it in more people's news feed if they just like type in Heroclix, whatever, to find a podcast. So if you enjoy it, you think other people would enjoy it, go ahead and leave a review. 5 stars or nothing, though. Sorry, guys. It's sort of the way it be. It's kind of how the algorithm works on those things. So that's a big help. But thank you guys so much for listening. Simeon, now you have to give me an answer in the next 10 seconds. Otherwise, you're fired.
I'm just trying to think, who would you pay that has 1 damage and is a hired mercenary or assassin? I'm gonna go with Assassin's Guild. I'm almost positive
Assassin's
they have
That's not
they have
right.
like 10 attacks, but I don't even think they have a special speed power. But I can't think of anything else. So
All right.
What is it?
Alexander Lukin, Assassin's Guild. Those are wrong. You're correct when you ask, like, what's it going to be? It's neither of those. It is none other than Jason Masondale from Spider-Man and Venom.
Oh, Oh, so
Absolute
he's a
carnage.
secret identity, right?
You were getting, yeah, he is a secret identity. He
Oh
turns
my-
into Demogoblin, Hobgoblin, or the Jack-o'-lantern.
But his significant appearance is Doctor Strange.
Is Doctor Strange Sorcerer Supreme? Yeah.
I can't believe
I was so friggin' close.
I can't
Despite
believe
the
that you
fact
would forget
that
Oh my
about
God.
comic on the
Jason
back.
Masondale.
How could you? The comic on the back is actually Hobgoblin revealed, but it's in an issue of the Amazing Spider-Man for whatever reason. But the significant appearance is, Doctor Strange, Sorcerer Supreme, number 11. It's so weird.
If you
Super
would have
famous
guessed, it would have been
comic character
Spider-Man related.
Jason Masondale.
He was. I remember him from Superior Spider-Man. That's about it. I don't know. Not too familiar.
But all right, so I'll get a point. We'll go ahead and move on to figure number 2, though.
All right, first clue. Figure
Simeon.
number 2.
Give me a clue.
It's clue number 8.
Clue number 8 is going to be improved movement or targeting. Wow, guys, I really hate to do this to you, but this character does not have any. I honestly, I thought I got rid of that clue and like changed it with something else, but I guess not. It's still there.
All right, Simeon, it's got to be that Rebirth Deathstroke.
Yeah, let's.
I'm already sold.
I'm actually pretty sure most modern Deathstrokes have some form of improved movement. Maybe not all of them, but I know like
No.
I know the common one definitely did. No improved
So no
movement or
improved
targeting.
I'll just guess Micron because I like him, and he doesn't have anything improved.
All right.
All right, yeah. I'll double
Micron.
down on Taskmaster, who typically gets improved
Nice.
movement,
Oh,
not
okay.
always.
It is not going to be Micron. It is not going to be Taskmaster. But it will be clue number 2, Simeon.
Second clue, it's going to be number 14.
Number 14 is going to be opening attack power. This character has a special attack power, which gives him Blade's Claw's Fangs, but for range actions instead of close actions, only if targeting a single character.
Blades
Oh,
for range.
It's it's rescue from what is that? Is that ABPI or Captain America and the Avengers? I'm pretty sure it's rescue though.
I think ABPI
Okay, locking in with
did
rescue.
have a rescue.
She had like the once per game.
Yeah,
blades
you could
thing,
roll
I'm pretty
blades.
sure.
A character that I for sure know like has this power, but is definitely not modern, is Gladiator from Avengers Defenders War.
Oh yeah, the disc throwing dude,
Yeah,
right?
but he's not modern, so I'm trying to think of somebody similar to him. We didn't get like a whirlwind anytime recently. Blades for range, but only to target one character. Is Old Man Wolverine able to do that? Is any Wolverine able to do that? Just shoot blades out of their fist instead of
You know, he shoots his claws. That's my favorite Wolverine.
yeah, eject a claw.
All right,
Wolverine.
Simeon, what do you got, man?
Man,
Mr. Fantastic.
I mean, he'd be way more
Probably.
interesting if he was able to do anything of that sort. I'm gonna go Captain America set. Did I already guess Taskmaster? I'll go with.
You did already guess that. That is correct.
I'll go with like Mandarin or something. Yeah, Mandarin. I have no idea.
Locked in with the Mandarin and Rescue. It is going to be neither of those.
What?
So we're going to second figure clue number 3.
All right, clue 3 is going to be clue number 11.
Clue number 11 is name of trait. And I really hate to do this to you guys, but this character does not have any traits.
Okay, so we're back to the
Ooh,
drawing
that's-
board for ranged blades.
That's rough.
people.
Honestly, you have really only one clue for this figure, so I'll let you roll again. because that's rough.
We've got some
only
non-clues.
knowing one. Really, you only know one thing.
Yeah, we've got
We have some
no
non-clues.
improved movement, no traits.
Wow.
But they can shoot Blady blades out.
How I like all my figures.
The reroll for that clue is 7. So we'll trade 7 for 11.
Generic keyword. This character is a soldier, so there you go.
So he's got like a bayonet-esque attachment on his weapon that he loads into his barrel.
Something.
The lower barrel of his assault rifle is a bayonet that shoots out. Deals
It's
blades
just
damage.
really a harpoon gun hooked onto the gun.
Oh man. Well,
Dude, I have no idea.
We can also kind of negate most super rares and chases since they would have traits almost all the time. So we're looking at like a rare or lower, in my opinion.
I'd agree.
That kind of
shoots blades.
No improved movement.
Who the hell does this?
Oh, right.
What monster would do this?
Yeah.
Maybe that was a clue. Hold up. He did say what monster.
Oh my god.
Oh. Does Billy Batson have improved movement?
No, he does not.
It's got to be.
At least I don't think.
It's a ranged paper cut is what's going on.
Does Billy Batson shoot knives? Maybe.
Man, you
go Tawny Tiger.
Oh man.
Honestly, I just have no clue. It's gonna be somebody that I've heard of like maybe once or twice. So I'm gonna guess Cyclops.
Cyclops. Locked in with Cyclops.
That's pretty cool guess. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna guess Wolverine just to go with the X-Men theme.
Yeah, X-Men.
It is sadly gonna be neither of those.
No,
this is none other than Justice League Unlimited 013 Jonah Hex.
Oh, who could have forgotten about him?
That actually makes some sense now.
The
Still
attack power was 6 shooter.
Would you ever remember that character though? Like, who's reaching for Jonah Hex?
Hey, there's some Jonah Hex fans out there.
So
you might get offended.
It's less about him.
Jonah Hex fans.
It's less about him dealing blades and more about him like emptying 1 to 6 shots out of his gun. And so that makes a lot more sense to me now that I think about it that way. But the fact that it's like read as blades claws at range really threw me for a loop.
Yeah, it put me in a situation where I was led to believe there was a barrel attachment below the gun that shot knives.
A blunderbuss, if you will, filled with knives. Seems like what we had here was a failure to communicate.
That would be, oh gosh, goodness. Anyways, it's going to be figure number 3 now. I'm going to need the first clue for this. I can almost, that dust is piling up, and boy, oh boy, am I getting ready to sweep it. So let's see if we can send her home, ladies and gents.
All right.
You said America was clean earlier.
Yeah,
that is true.
I was going to point that out too. Can't sweep what's already cleaned.
Sweep. Give me the clue.
Clue number 4.
And now they're all mixed up.
Sorry, Kalder. Go ahead.
It's going to be Clix of Life. This character is 6 clicks long. So their first KO click is on click number 7.
So like the most average length for a normal hero.
Yes.
I mean, maybe slightly above average, I'll say, because I think 5 is like the true average dial length in modern. 6 clicks.
6 clicks alive, huh? I'll pick Nightcrawler.
I'm gonna go with
playing him.
I'm gonna go with like a shot in the dark. Figure most people haven't heard of. Kind of like one of those. Calder might have picked it because it's kind of out there. I'm gonna go with Taskmaster.
Shocking.
Locked in with Nightcrawler and Taskmaster. It is going to be neither of those. Simeon is 0-3 on his Taskmaster guesses.
I'll get him one of these days. Second clue is number 17.
17 is a free play, so you can choose anything you want to know about this figure. Let me just go ahead and read all your options. You have significant appearance, point value, set, number of clicks, rarity, and set number, named keyword, generic keyword, improved movement or targeting, top dial stats, name of a special power, name of trait, any special combat symbols, opening movement, attack, defense, and damage. Which one of those sound good to you? And I can read them off again if you need me to.
Simeon. I think we go for the biggest dead giveaway and we ask how many targets the character has.
No, it's got to be improved movement. Improved hindering will narrow it down.
Number of holes used to be, actually, I think that used to be a clue, and I think I got rid of it or something.
Yeah. So yeah,
can we pick set it's from?
Yeah, we can do
choose sets. Yeah,
that'll narrow it down. Not only universe, but also like half the figures in the set sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that. Let's do set.
The set is Fantastic Four.
Ooh.
6 clicks of life, Fantastic Four.
And it's the top dial of any figure that would, so it'd be 6 clicks total
it's always
for whatever their top dial is.
Highest point value,
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Highest point value.
Good job, Simeon.
6 clicks from the Fantastic Four set.
This is where I want to go with like Black Leopard, the Prime, but then it's actually Black Panther, and I just pick the wrong figure.
6 click figures in that set.
I feel like the Frightful
Isn't
Four...
most of the Fantastic Four 6 clicks?
No, kind of. Yeah. I mean, when you say Fantastic Four, do you mean keyword, or do you mean like the original Fantastic Four? Because
the original Fantastic Four.
It depends on, because they have kind of like a rookie experienced veteran dial thing going on, because they resculpted the main 4 3 times in the set at least. So yeah, it depends on. I mean, if you name one, you'll get all of them, but
yeah, it's too easy. Kalder wants us to guess those. It's obvious. I think Frightful Four is a good start. I guess I'll say. With that being said, I'll take Living Laser.
I was gonna take Living Laser.
Okay, locked in for Living
the coolest of the Frightful Four for sure.
I will take Wizard. Was his name the Wizard, or it was either the Wizard or
it was
Wizard.
The Wizard.
Wingless Wizard. I'll take a Wizard.
I'll tell you, there is no A Wizard, but you can choose between Wizard, Wingless Wizard, or the Wizard. If that's what you want to do.
Oh.
Why do they have to clarify Wingless Wizard?
I'll go with Sandman.
What wizard has wizard?
It's too many options. I'm gonna go with Sandman. There's only one Sandman.
Right. Locked in with Living Laser and Sandman. It is gonna be neither of those. Your third and final clue awaits you, gentlemen.
All right.
That was for
third clue is going to be...
Well, really, though. What?
He's wingless because he flies without, like, actual, like, bird wing apparatus.
So does every other wizard, though.
But he was very proud of that achievement back in the day. So he got that moniker back in, like, the 70s or something. So he was like, okay. You see those planes and jets?
To be fair, he's not even a real wizard.
That's true. So he should have been just being not only wingless wizard, he should have been like wingless, magicless, kind of a wizard. That should have been his full moniker. The wingless, magicless wizard.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Final clue. It's clue number 12.
Clue number 12 is going to be any special combat symbols. This character is indomitable.
Oh, incredible.
You're welcome.
Six
So he's
clicks
Indom,
deep.
6 clicks, and from
Fantastic Four. Indomitable.
Well, I don't think any of the
You know what?
Four are
Excuse
in
me.
them.
Wow. Actually, with a wizard, aka Bentley Whitman here, is actually a talented escape artist and stage magician, master of disguise, genius level intellect, the use of gravity discs, electrical blasts via power gloves, mind control via helmet. Although Wikipedia does not tell me how he flies without wings, so
What's
I guess
the
that really is a mystery to
gravitational discs?
everybody, which is truly.
I'll tell you what it isn't
He
called.
doesn't really
That's
fly.
Oh, I
he
guess that would be the
floats.
grav disc. That
Yeah,
would
he
make sense.
floats.
Anti-gravity
well.
discs, yeah. Oh, this explains so much. Bentley 23 is a adolescent clone of the wizard. Wow, look at that.
Yeah.
The wizard made
Were
a
you-
clone of himself as a child.
Yeah,
That's why he's a little prick.
When the Fantastic Four beat up the wizard and sent him to jail, they were like, I guess we'll adopt your clone and put him in our weird child army scientist force.
I guess.
Look at this. At first, he was a highly introverted child who then became more outgoing. I'm so proud of Bentley, but he still looks like a little prick. He did grow up to become a supervillain, but look at him. He got over his introvertedness. Look at that. How cute is that? Oh, except never mind. He actually openly worships Mephisto. That's kind of weird. That's not the kid I want at my dinner party, I'll tell you that much. Anyways, yeah, Indomitable. 6 clicks of life. Fantastic Four set. Last
Can we
guess.
get one more clue? Does he have wings or not?
Yeah, all special
This
combat
character have
symbols.
wings.
Just be honest.
Just be honest, you son of a gun. This character got wings or not? I will say this: this character does not have wings. So that
Okay.
I guess that takes away. I guess if you guys are thinking Frightful Four for this, that takes away one whole Frightful Four member, aka Dragon Man. I guess is the only one with wings, right?
Jeez. All right. All right.
I'm
For
going
other
to
characters in the
change my
Fantastic
guess
Four set,
then.
I don't even know who else would even have wings.
Yeah, if you hear any erasing,
I'm gonna go with my original first idea when we heard Fantastic Four, and that's Black Leopard.
Darn it, Simeon.
I'll take.
Oh, okay.
Venom.
Go for Black Leopard. Venom. Okay,
Yeah,
so
because he had some Fantastic Four shenanigans. I think he's like 6 or 7 clicks. YOLO.
it is going to be locked in, first of all, with Black Leopard, locked in with Venom. And Simeon knows Black Leopard doesn't have Indom, so I don't even know why he guessed that, honestly. It's very weird,
Does
very
he
strange
not?
to me. Actually, he does have Indom. No, he does have Indom. I
like,
was just
I-
trying to make you second guess
pretty
yourself.
sure
I was
he
going to
does.
see if we can get you to change your answer again, how I got you to change from Wizard to
I
Well,
know
you
the
gave me
mouse
too
clicked
many
a few
options.
times.
I had to bail completely on Wizard.
I don't know. I heard his
and
mouth
it's-
clicking a bit
it is-
there.
What do you mean mouse click? What are you talking about? What are you accusing me of?
No,
I have
think-
these
no, I'm
cards.
saying I think Simeon might be.
I have the
cheating. You
cards
said-
right in front of me.
Yeah, I know. You said
These cards
Black
are right in front of
Leopard.
me.
Black Leopard might not have Indom, and then you instantly heard what? Click, 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 click. I think he's had a page up the whole time.
hang on. Black
But
Leopard.
it is not. It is not going to be Black Leopard. It is not going to be Black Leopard. It is. It is not going to be Venom. It is actually Frightful Four member, and I can't believe you guys let me get away with this. Thundra, although it is not the wizard, it is
Oh.
Thundra.
Get away with
Wow.
Thundra.
Get away with Thundra.
I absolutely
If it had
never
been
would have
Wizard,
guessed
Thunder.
Man, would that have
So,
been funny?
had you
Would
said
that have
it
not
was
been
Wizard,
great if
and
I
I
just
just
peer
hadn't guessed
pressured
it?
Simeon to not
Yeah.
guessing the wizard? I would have laughed so hard. Wow. That is going to be all 3 points for your boy, your sexy ranch hand, Calderness, sweeping the nation, sweeping the game this week. Wow.
Hang on,
yeah,
I'm
man.
looking up.
Wow.
I'm looking up Black Leopard right now. Did you know they have
Dusty.
spots? Some of them have.
He does have it. He's got OGs.
Oh no, I didn't type in Fantastic Four. It's just Black
All
Leopard.
right.
Ooh,
Let's
there's a
go
baby
ahead
one.
and move in.
Okay, sorry.
Oh my gosh.
Let's go ahead and move into the community section.
There are dozens of us. Dozens!
Really quick, we did get some community questions. Some on Discord, and Malcolm during the recording of the show sent us in some questions. But really quickly, I'm going to do the Jedi Legend Heroclix tip of the week.
You don't want to sell me death sticks.
I don't want to sell you death sticks.
You want to go home and rethink your life.
I want to go home and rethink my life.
Didn't pull that super rare you wanted. Got no trades. Don't want to play the hyper inflated prices on the secondary market. Take a cheaper sculpt and make your own dials and cards. And then he links to his ABPI gem. Honestly, this tip can just be like, hey, don't own that thing. Just play Heroclix tournaments where you don't have to own that thing online, because that's all we're playing anyways. So
yeah,
I honestly don't even feel too bad about not owning these Dooms, because I'm going to sell every single one I get, honestly.
Tell them to me.
Yeah, okay. You need a Lord Doom, Ian? Are you still looking for a Lord Doom, or you get on that one?
That was actually the first one I picked up, so no.
Okay, well, there you go. So I guess I got to sell some other guy. All right, but I'll keep you in mind when my other case comes. But yeah, nice. Honestly, guys, make customs if you want to. You can just find some good pictures of the cards, print them off, be like, hey, look, I'm playing this thing. If friend games allow that, your venue won't, and obviously this won't work in any tournaments if those start happening. But there are a lot of tournaments online, and I know Simeon's tournament, Adam's tournament that's coming up with Clix in it, doesn't allow you to own it. So yeah, I'm playing with these Dooms because there's no way I'm going to be spending money for them. I like them. I like them a lot. But I just like money more. So
very fair.
Yeah. Next up, we do have some questions. So on the Discord, I do believe it was Luke said, we were talking about some scenario cards on the Discord, guys. And if you want to join the Discord and you want to join the fun conversations we have, go ahead and join the Patreon. Any tier gets you Discord access. Any tier gets you entered into monthly giveaways. This month, I'm going to probably give away just a bunch of stuff from Future Foundation because I don't want any of it. I'm kidding. I want a lot of it. I want to make some money off of it, though. You know what I mean? Anyways, so check out the Patreon for there. The question is, we were talking about if scenario cards came in boosters and stuff. So go ahead and name, number one, would you want scenario cards? Like, do you want more of them? Do you want more than just the in a starter set type of deal? And would you want them appearing in boosters? How would you want them to do that? And the second question that was kind of by N.Teemu was, what scenario cards would you want to see? He said one Marvel one, and then try to do one from something else. It's so easy to do Marvel. It feels like we get the most of that. But try to think of a DC one, WWE one, whatever, TMNT, Star Trek, you know. So yeah, try to think of some scenario cards. Personally, I would love it if they did scenario cards and boosters, but it should be like one in every single booster, and they should be crazy common. They should be the opposite of team up cards. They should have like the cheapest rarity ever, because let's be real, the casual side of Heroclix is what really keeps this game alive. Collectors and everything, people that do tabletop like home games. So I think WizKids should lean into that more, and I think scenario cards is perfect for it. Because, when you get like a Cosmic Clash starter, it's like, yeah, it's cool, but I also want to play all the new sidekicks and stuff. But I guess I can play Silver Surfer and Doctor Doom and some thugs or whatever. I want to see cards for like the entire set. Like when they would do it for Fear itself, it mentioned, hey, get a Juggernaut, get specifically the Kurth Juggernaut or any Juggernaut, whatever. And then that's how you would run the scenario. So I like those scenarios a lot. And I would love to see scenario cards all over the place. Simeon, Ian?
I think I'm definitely in agreement with you on that. I think it'd be a good addition to the game. Excuse me. But I'm not sure, like where do you implement that at? I think if you put them in booster packs, people might get bored of them pretty easily. I mean, how many are you really going to put into one set? I'm not sure there. I think kind of in a starter set, or, something along the lines of that, maybe like an OP kit kind of deal might be the way to go about it. But yeah, I think you're right in that it would keep the casual audience entertained, and I think that is the majority of Heroclix players, so I'm all for it. I think, I don't know, if I got to pick one personally, I think like a Blackest Night would be cool, where like maybe like characters killed come back as like Black Lantern animates or something like that.
Okay, nice.
I'm all for like the battlegrounds, the starters always having. I think those going forward should just always have a couple of scenario cards. So if I'm a new player and I pick up this starter set that like everyone pointed me towards and said like, this will give you figures and dice and like whatever like you need to start playing, and then I've got some of these scenarios that I can run through, and they can make them, you know, progressively more like intrinsic. So it can be like, for this scenario, like all like disregard all powers on dial, and like, you know, like this is what happens, like, you know, like the Yancey Street gang is picking on the Thing's girlfriend and like he's mad, so like you have to beat up like 3 Yancey Street gang members, and so like you have to go through like the like take action, move, take an action to punch, next turn clear, Yancey Street gang like moves up and like attacks you, and then like you know you get another turn after that to like punch the one next to you and then move and get like the third guy, and that's like the end of the scenario. So it be like a great like tutorial kind of level for like to take into video game kind of setting, which is what scenario cards are. They're like a like single player campaign kind of thing compared to like the multiplayer that is what most Heroclix is, and I really like that aspect. They can make like some of the scenarios are actually really good and really fun to play with like a friend or two. Sometimes like you can just play them by yourself and they're not too bad. Typically, I mean, Heroclix is like a tabletop like game that you need to play with at least one other person, in my opinion, to have like a really good time, because half the fun is having like a conversation and just like joking around about like the figures and stuff as you play. Because it's always like hilarious when, you know, like your tiny little whoever beats up on like the Hulk or whatever. So that's like half the fun for me. But yeah, having scenario cards in like the very starter that a person would start the game with is a good idea. I think if they threw a couple in like a Fast Forces or in like a dice and token pack, that'd be okay as well. Putting them in boosters seems kind of strange, because then there's like a blind element to which scenario like you get. And if you're somebody that buys a lot of boosters, like you want to get like a whole set, you probably don't necessarily need an entire set of like the scenario cards. And also, I mean, scenario cards would be like the most easy thing to print and play ever implemented in the game. So honestly, they could just for each set drop like a scenario or two, like with like the set release on their PDF like list of like rules and the PAC and stuff. But yeah, I think any way they go about it, I'm okay with more scenario cards in any aspect. Putting them in boosters is kind of weird. It's not like the worst thing. I mean, we've had team up cards in boosters, so it's not like an extra card in your pack would be weird or bad. But it would limit like the casual player from getting all of them probably.
That's fair.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think the randomness of it.
I think maybe
people just get tired of seeing them too.
Yeah,
you know, after
kind of like the Protagonists revival, you pull $1 million of the House of X, you're like, geez, whatever.
Yeah, your 12th Krakoan revival for your like uncommon.
I mean, they all did literally the same thing, so that was just like, ugh, okay, I get it. Maybe like specifically play at home kits would be perfect for it. Like if you make a play at home kit for the set, right? It's a map. Just throw in whatever 10 scenario cards for that set in a play at home kit. I think that would probably be the best place for
a handful of like older
after like hearing what you guys were saying. Yeah, sure, that'd be cool.
I know Fear Itself did something kind of like that, and that was
Fear Itself.
It was pretty cool. Yeah. It was good, you know, testing the waters there. I liked all the pogs they came with.
Absolutely, they were quite poggers. I would agree. They're good. Jeez.
Yeah, can we get a poggers in the chat, please? It's not very gamer of you to not leave a poggers in chat.
Poggers in the chat. Oh, jeez.
Heroclix.
But yeah,
Heroclix podcast.
Jeez. Top tech, top X. There we go. I think my like top Marvel whatever scenarios I would like to see. Obviously, big Captain America guy. Superior Stratagem was a 6-issue event that was in the 1980s, like Captain America run, as well as Cap Wolf would be a really fun scenario. And then Earth X. So like I specifically bought all these Earth X pieces because I wanted to recreate Earth X because I really like that storyline. And we have a ton of like the figures for a lot of the main story beats in it. So like that would be really cool. I'm still holding out for a colossal absorbing man that's absorbing all of New York City. That'd be pretty sick. Probably never going to happen. It'd be great. For DC, I can only think of one because like this is the only storyline I've really, really liked in DC that I went out and like bought a ton of the figures specifically for it. And that would be Forever Evil. So like Lex Luthor, Black Adam, Black Manta, Sinestro, a couple other like villains, Bizarro are all on a team because the Justice League is like wasted somewhere or whatever. They just are useless right now and they have to go beat the Crime Syndicate. And that's a really good storyline. Really enjoy that. So Forever Evil would be great. And then WWE Hell in a Cell scenario, or like a casket match scenario where you got to bury your opponent would be pretty cool. I really dig a casket match scenario. It would be pretty fun.
Yeah.
So
there's a ton of scenarios available for WWE. Every single type of match could easily be a scenario.
If we could get a Rey Mysterio, a ladder match for the custody of Dominic Mysterio, and you have to play Rey and Eddie Guerrero, that would be pretty awesome. I want it so bad.
Yeah, there's a lot of directions these could go to kind of do the complete opposite of that. I think solving like a case as Batman, like a scenario like that. You know, I'm not sure the exact storyline, but you know, maybe they incorporate elements of the game Clue, and you.
Yeah, no, I mean you have to go and like pick up certain objects.
I hate Clue so much. You get object cards and character cards, and you shuffle them, and you put them in a little envelope. And you're guessing. You could easily play Clue with Heroclix. It was.
I mean,
it was Mr. Fantastic with the spin ring in the friggin' whatever.
The only difference is,
oh my god!
In Clue, you have to roll to see how like many squares you move. In Heroclix, you'd just be like, "I'm playing like the Flash, KC Flash with this scenario. He's gonna hypersonic and get 7 clues. Instantly solve the case."
Think you get clues by moving? Is that how you think Clue works, Simeon? You just have to go to a different room.
Yeah, you move to different rooms, but you have to roll to move into different rooms.
Yeah, phasing is really meta.
Moving to a room.
No, but in Heroclix, if we were doing it as like objects, But
you can still only go to one room in one turn, Simeon.
No.
That's how the game works.
No. He's in 2 cities at once.
Okay.
He's KC Flash. Fine. He's in all the rooms all the time.
No, you move into one room and then you sidestep into another. It's pretty simple.
Actually, then yes, that would work.
Yeah, you move, pick up one clue, then you sidestep, pick up another clue.
And then I'll spin ring myself to the next room.
Oh man, Heroclix would be broken Clue, dude. Oh, Null, he moves to one room. Free,
the meta
cloud,
Clue Heroclix game. Yeah. The meta build for Clue Heroclix. Spin ring, sidestep, hypersonic.
And then pretty much every time, everyone just loses to that playing Vulture.
There it is.
It kills the whole house, and nobody ever finds out the murderer. Great scenario.
Yep. Oh, gosh. It was Vulture with the Ock arms. WWE training center. Oh, you knew. He got it. Okay. But all right, guys. That was great. That was an awesome question. We do have some. These came in like halfway through the show. So, Malcolm, you should be really proud of us this week. We got a Malcolm Rush question block.
That's in Japan!
Japan? No. I can't go to Japan.
And obviously, because these came in halfway through, we weren't able to totally prepare for them. But they're pretty simple questions. So they are Heroclix related. But there's one question, which is, what are your top 3 favorite movies or TV shows? So do we want to do? You can do one of the other guys, but don't. I mean, you can mix them if you want to. So, Simeon, you want to go for this?
Oh, that's such a big question. Top 3 favorite movies or TV shows. So if it was like current or like all time, I'm assuming he means like all time. So top, I'm going to go with TV shows. So it's got to be like Stargate SG-1, which I've been recently rewatching. Not as good as I remember it being, but still, it's like one of my top favorite TV series of all time. Star Trek, The Next Generation is definitely up in the top 3. And man, I'd have to go with something. I'm really struggling to like to weed out all of the garbage that I've watched over the years and pick one really solid TV series.
That's a lot of garbage.
I guess to go with one that like I've actually like gone back to several times and like it's super generic, I'd have to go with like The Office.
Dude, cringe, bro.
Yeah, as awful and generic as it is, I've watched that like several times.
Simeon, you really are a white girl from the 2010 era. That's really just your whole personality.
I'm sorry. Have you ever worked in an office, Calder? Then you wouldn't understand the
I've never
humor.
worked in an office.
That's
You
why I
don't
didn't say
understand
the
the
Rick and
nuance of
Mortimer
office
show
humor.
because you have to have an high IQ to enjoy the Rick and Mortimer show, Calder, and you wouldn't understand.
So I'll just go ahead because that's a whole. If we're going with TV shows, probably favorite is got to be Ash vs. Evil Dead. I don't think I own any other TV show on DVD, so yeah, I think that easily takes the cake. And then from there, I'll just choose an anime because it's easy. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and then last one, Sunny in Philadelphia, probably. So those would be my top 3 TV shows.
Definitely.
Ian.
Number 1, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Incredible show. Number 2, I'd probably put Arrested Development. That's a show I've rewatched I don't know how many times at this point.
Good.
Always good. And number 3, this might be recency bias, but Chappelle's Show. Forgot how good that was. Recently rewatched that. Yeah, it's a show that, I don't know, I always think is funny. Always find clips of, floating around. So
Nice.
That's
3
true.
comedies.
As somebody who's enjoyed exactly one episode of It's Always Sunny, good episode. Yeah.
Yeah, watch the show. Holy crap,
I can't listen to Charlie
What episode
Day's
was that,
voice.
Dude, it's a great show. It's a great show.
It was
I wanna
the
rewatch it
Night
again.
Man
It's
versus
so
Day
good.
Man
Worth
episode
it.
where they'd put on a musical.
That's like one of the best ones.
Oh, it's so good. That's probably one of the best episodes, if not
The
best
implication.
episode. I love that
the boat
episode so much.
The gang buys a boat.
Oh,
It's
the
definitely
implication.
out there.
Yes. That is pretty good, too. But then Malcolm asks, which Heroclix characters would you use to represent those characters in movies or TV shows? Ooh, that's kind of tough, man. That's really rough. So,
Charlie Day, Obnoxio the Clown.
yes. Yeah.
Crackhead dial for a crackhead character.
I'll say, I know I've used Archon specifically for Ash before, so I think he's still going to be my Evil Dead like Ash pick. Has got to be Archon. I think like the 30-point Black Panthers would fit for Nightman, just because like it was a real cheap Black Panther, like the ones from ADW would work.
Oh, the 30.
But maybe not for like Max. Yeah, or like just the charge blades type of deal. I don't know. It's rough, dude.
Stargate is...
Or maybe, no, actually, more specifically... Sorry, Simi, go ahead.
I was just going to say, they're mostly just generic, like, military dudes. There's not really, like, anything special about most of them. One is, like, an alien guy with a, like, explosive bow staff that, like, shoots explosions. It doesn't. I'm not going to say lasers because it literally just shoots explosions, and they don't really explain it super well. So any generic soldier with like energy explosion would probably fit that role.
I think April O'Neil, the one that like when you kill her goes on an opponent's card, is a good princess, like D as the princess. I think that'd be fine. I think you could use any orc, any troll from just whatever, Lord of the Rings for Frank. I think it'd be okay. I want to think of someone.
Not the penguin,
work for
literally
Dayman.
a character that Danny DeVito has played.
Yeah, I guess so, Simeon.
I mean, what about what's his name, Blackbeard from the new set? How he's just holding the treasure chest.
Yeah,
that could be Danny DeVito.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
I think Dennis would probably be like, maybe like Magneto or something.
Star Fox is Dennis, 100%.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I can
see that.
Not the chase though. like one of the bad ones.
No,
Yeah,
like
the rare.
yeah, like the rare.
Though. He thinks he's the chase.
He does. That's perfect.
That's
perfect.
Yeah, that's on the money.
That's it right there. Midnighter's Dennis, or not Dennis, Mac. Duh, of course Midnighter's Mac. He's got the trench coat. Gay, like it's perfect. Works perfectly to you. Yeah. I'm glad we figured this out.
All right.
Awesome.
Hey, wait. What do we got on the checklist? Well, does he have a trench coat? Mm-hmm. Well, what is he gay too? Oh, you got it. And there you go. You too can recreate your favorite TV shows in Heroclix.
Yeah, let us know, guys. What TV shows have you ever been like, oh yeah, this Heroclix character works perfect for him, and maybe play a little scenario. Coming soon to the Dial H for Heroclix YouTube channel is the Sunny in Philadelphia versus the episode Thursday Throwdown. But all right,
I can't wait.
That's Malcolm Rush, and that's kind of the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. You can find us on iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, wherever podcasts are found. Like I said throughout the show, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Go check out the YouTube channel for unboxings, all sorts of stuff. If you just want to listen to the podcast while you're sitting at home on your computer, you can listen to it there. And you can check out our Thursday Throwdowns, see us playing with the new rules, all that fun stuff. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. If you want to send us questions like Malcolm did, you can do so on Facebook, Twitter, or our Gmail, which is dialh4heroclix@gmail.com, all spelled out. All the links to all that stuff is going to be the podcast description. That's all I got. Ian, before we let you go, my man, do you want to do any shout outs for any players, stores, whatever?
We'll do the same shout out I'll always do anytime I'm on the show, but that's just to Rainbow Sports Cards, Comics, and Collectibles in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. It's a great store. Everybody there is super friendly. I've known the owner forever. I don't know, if you're ever around the area, definitely pop in. It's worth the time.
Absolutely. Simeon, want to go ahead and read us out, man?
Yes, and with that, we're going to bring you to a close. And like always, Dial H for Heroclix is sponsored by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock every day, from the latest Heroclix singles and sealed products. You should check them out at CoolStuffInc.com. I've recently been picking up a bunch of their D&D miniatures, because those are some cool sculpts as well. So,
and as always, happy trails.
My stuff.